What's happening, everybody? This your boy Smitty from DetroitManagement.com. Ready to give you my review on the Detroit Lions Monday night loss to the Baltimore Ravens. Yep, here come the SOLs. What can I say? I mean, at this point, you know, a lot of people throwing out what they predicted earlier in the year and this, that, and you know, I threw out there 8-8, but you know, that's, to me, it's a bunch of hogwash. It's not something I can be proud of if I'm gonna wind up getting that right. You know, some people pick, you know, 10 game wins, 8 wins, 6 wins. It's like whoop-de-doo. The Lions were 6-3. They've won 1 out of the last 5 games. You know, dropped 2 on the road and 2 at home. What can you say? I'm gonna just be straight up. You know, I've banged the drum about the turnover machine, which are the Detroit Lions. And it starts with Matthew Stafford. Let's just be honest. You can't have a quarterback that turns the ball over so much in a period of time where you can make a run. You know, the crazy thing is that a lot of people want to use the fact that the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears have injuries for the reason that the Lions should be winning football games. Well, with the record that the Lions have against their divisional opponents, you know, which is 4 out of 5 thus far, you know, they can't worry about what other teams in their division are doing when they have that type of record. You know, to me, it doesn't make sense when you have 5 games where you turn the ball over an average of 3 times, and that's all you have to do is take care of the football. The defense played well in this football game against the Ravens. They didn't play great, but they played good enough. I mean, Baltimore kicked 6 field goals. 6. I mean, 18 points wins you a football game against the Lions. Of course, you got Matthew Stafford throwing the ball and all over the place, and he's getting interceptions, and you know, 3, really? Come on, man. You know, it's like going into this season, if you would have told me that Stafford was going to be throwing 3 interceptions, I would have agreed, because he looked terrible in the preseason and I was on his back. But, you know, throughout the beginning of the year, he played well. And all of a sudden, I don't know what's going on with Matthew Stafford, but yeah, I do believe he can hover around, you know, at least that top 15 bracket of quarterbacks. That might not be saying much, but, you know, those quarterbacks are quarterbacks that don't lose you football games. And to be honest with you, even Joe Flacco is in that category. Even though he has a Super Bowl ring and he is an MVP of a Super Bowl, you know, I don't think he and Matthew Stafford have such a great differ in qualities. You know, other than the fact that, you know, Stafford is still turning the football over, Joe Flacco was once in that same category. You know, I look at a quarterback like Eli Manning. He's not great. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings. He plays well in clutch situations. You know, he gets the job done. He threw 5 interceptions this past weekend. You know, it's enough blame to go around. I mean, I've talked about Calvin Johnson and his drops. Everybody's saying that it's not like him. And I think that's crazy, because going into this game, I think Calvin had 8 drops. The offensive side of the ball is supposed to be the strongest unit on this football team, and it's not. I've made the case before that the defense is the strongest. Special team is probably coming in second, and the offense is the weakest link. We have tools like Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, Reggie Bush, Joique Bell, Brandon Pettigrew, and I mean, even Fourier's making plays. If you watch the game in detail, you will see that Calvin Johnson and Chris Durham missed blocks on key runs. I mean, it's a lot of blame to go around. It's just a lot of blame to go around. Calvin missed a catch on 2-point conversion. could have at least sent the game to overtime. It's too many drop passes. Look it up. How many drop passes? Who leads the league? You know, you'll see names like Calvin Johnson, Reggie Bush, Joique Bell, Chris Durham. The Lions lead the league in drop passes. They don't throw the ball more than a whole lot of other teams in the NFL, but, you know, this is the throwing league. Everybody keeps saying we're a throwing team. Well, this is a throwing league. Everybody throws the ball. But you still got to be able to take care of the football. You know, to be honest with you, I've talked about Matthew Stafford's mechanics in the offseason, and to me, like I say, it's his footwork. You know, set your feet and throw the ball. He has to get it together. He has to throw from his ear and stop side-arming him. Not that he can't do it, but just don't do it so much. You're hurting the football team. Another thing, I read on Bleacher Report that Jim Schwartz is likely not going to be the head coach of the Detroit Lions if he doesn't make the playoffs. Maybe time for a change. It's your boy Smitty for DetroitMariners.com, and I'll holler at y'all.